day 41, be trading with Apex. I'm making this video actually quite late on the recap, but this is where my distance drawdown is for this eval. Let me zoom back out. This is my PA that I have not traded in a little bit. So let's go through all of the trades that I took today. I'm going to try to go through it kind of quickly. So 8:30 was the open of the New York session. I'm kind of watching, and price is above the hourly 50 EMA, which is this pink line. Sorry, I wasn't actually watching. I actually was just waking up as this was happening here. So when I was able to really finally be in front of the computer and saw we were still holding above the hourly 50 EMA, I'm like, okay, so I kind of want to go long. And I believe, let's see, we might have been running up already. Let's see, what time was it right here? Yeah, I was definitely here for all of this. So we're coming up. I'm thinking, all right, let's wait for that first bear candle to open and close above the 10 EMA right here, light blue line, so I can get in above the high with a stop below somewhere of the low, maybe down here or something like that. But this one didn't end up closing above that 10 EMA. We still take off. I might have been getting a little FOMO. And then we have, this is the first actual bear candle opening and closing above the 10 EMA, which for that particular strategy is like, okay, that's the one we're looking for. Get in above the high, the stop below the low somewhere, probably down here. So I believe I had a trade, I think, up at that point. But once this hammer candle formed, let me zoom in so you can maybe see a little bit better. This hammer candle, I said, you know what? I'm going to play the hammer candle. So it would have been better if I would have got in at the 50% mark of the wick of this hammer. But I decided to play it the regular way I was taught, which is if you see a hammer, especially at a support, and some other factors. But anyways, just trying to give you the basic rundown here. Get in above the high with the stop below the low. This was kind of a little larger of a stop. So got in. I was able to exit like some contracts that I had here at this point, at least maybe 2 or 3. But then I was able to also move my stop up, I believe, maybe 1 time. And then I got stopped out, so I lost there. And then by that point, I saw, okay, we might be having this trend line right here at the top. And then I noticed we were making higher lows at this point, or really right here. And I said, there's a good chance once we come up here, we could come down because maybe we're forming a pennant pattern. So with that being said, I sort of just waited for price to come back down, and I got in near this blue line, which marks the 30-minute low for the orb strategy. And it also helps that this was also kind of a hammer candle, but I entered before this hammer candle even, formed. So I entered here. Wasn't too bad of a trade. I guess my stop was maybe a little too large for this. I was just trying to have it below this low here. So it could have been like, maybe like that or something. But anyways, it wasn't. So again, played that bounce. I'm thinking, okay, there could be a good chance we come back up again here before making some kind of move. And I remember thinking, what if out of all days I decide to play a pennant pattern like this? It actually breaks out really quickly. I've noticed with pennant patterns, it really will play the whole way until it gets pretty tight here, and then it'll like do the breakout or whatever. But this time it did it a little bit early, which is, you know, whatever. But at least I was able to exit most of the whole, like all my contracts, and it was a little bit under 1R, 1.2, I believe. Let me see. Where is it? That was like 1R. And at this point, I think I was going for 1.2. When this candle happened and we're coming up and struggling, I decided to just exit because I was like, this is struggling and this might just totally come down. And that's what happened. I had one contract open and I got stopped out right here. So that happened there. So now I'm just waiting. At this point, we have crossed the hourly 50 EMA on the 1 hour. Oh yeah, I just said that. It's a little late. I'm a little tired. Anyways, so the next trade is, I will tell you, yeah, okay. This was the 10 EMA setup where at this point, since we crossed over that hourly 50 EMA, I'm like, okay, well now I'm looking for the first bull candle to open and close below that 10 EMA right here, and then I'll get in below it with the stop above a pivot, which is right here. So this drop had already kind of happened. So I set this limit order right here that would be basically getting on the, you know, an entry as if I took this candle right here. Whoops. Because if you notice, this was the first candle to open and close below the 10 EMA, and it was a bullish candle. And so I missed it, right? That first entry. So I just put a limit and I got filled. And yes, we were above the hourly 50 EMA, but it was just right there. So I thought maybe the bears could flip it. Anyways, they tried. They really did. So it comes down. I wish I had it marked, but I took off some contracts. I don't remember where. I guess I forgot to mark it off, but I did do that. I was kind of hoping that maybe we would fill this gap on the 24-hour chart, which it actually did now. It sucks I missed that, but there was a gap on the 24-hour chart, so I was hoping maybe it was going to run to right here, or that's where that gap fill was going to be. Once I saw this hammer candle, I can't even lie. Like I was like, that's the one. Like that's the type of hammer candle I'm always like talking about. You know, finding something like that at a support and getting in above, stop below the low, target 1.2, 1.3, whatever. At this case, it could have gotten 2 R's out of that, depending on how I moved my stop. So we run up, we come back down. I'm like, I don't know what to think of all of this action. We created tweezer bottom candles along with this hammer candle, which is a candle pattern that has the exact same lows. That's kind of like a bullish type of sign. But then right after that, we created tweezer top candles, candles with the exact same highs, these two right here. And not only that, they were shaved bottom top candles, which is that's like a bearish type of thing. So I was like, man, I don't know what to think. I don't know. So now it's going to be a battle it's just this big battle of the bears and the bulls today. Ultimately, I ended up getting stopped out right here, right on this candle, which wasn't so bad, which was also where I decided that's okay because we got a nice bear reset candle. Yay. So I'm like, and it's above the hourly 50 EMA, which is the pink line. So I'll just get in like I'm playing that 10 EMA long and basically flip from short to long. Well, as you can see, that did not work too well. So, but what was great is that I got stopped out here. I'm trying to remember why I moved my stop up that aggressively, but I wish I had it marked. I did not mark that down. Okay. Oh, and as this is happening, I'm thinking, oh my God, like I always say, if you've seen some of my videos, you've heard me talk about pennant patterns. And in a lot of ways to me, they fake. Like the breakout a lot of times to me is like possibly fake. It's going to be a retest and then it may roll over. So I was a little worried because I'm thinking maybe we're just coming back and it's this all fake, this breakout or breakdown, and we're going to blast off out of here. And why did I say that? Okay, anyway, I am so delirious right now. So long story short, 10 EMA play right here did not work. Then I tried it one last time, and it was another 10 EMA. Let me try to zoom in. I know it's looking real confusing. So once we got this candle right here, okay, this one, it was the first bull candle. Let me go ahead and delete this stuff. First bull candle to open and close below the 10 EMA right here. Got in below the low with the stop below the pivot. This is where I realized this trade, I could have just not have moved my stop the whole day and basically would have, you know, won a decent amount. I mean, like, it just would have been a winning trade. It would have just been one that didn't fully get to my target. So I was pretty comfortable putting my stop up, you know, over here. Only thing is there wasn't a whole ton of time left. And by this point, I was pretty frustrated. I can't even lie to you. It's pretty frustrated, but not to the point where I was just like gonna go YOLO and just take all these crazy trades. I just was a little tired. Like, I was kind of going back and forth. Actually, let me tell you, I left the house on this trade. I set the trade up. I watched it for a little bit. And then I don't think I moved my stop one time before I left, but I had an order down here to get out of 4. I think I had 6 contracts on, or maybe I said, yeah, I had 6, and I said like somewhere near here, near where we've been bouncing the whole day, to get out of 4 contracts. I don't remember exactly where, but I know it was down here somewhere. But I was gone. I didn't see it. I went to the store. I was like, if I come back and I'm stopped out, whatever, you know, and came back to see at least those 4 contracts were gone, which I was pretty happy to see. And then at that point, this huge wick was like crazy. I'm like, you know, I'm so sick and tired. I just don't want to keep watching this. And I ended up just closing the trade early. Kind of sucks because this was the only one, and that always happens to me. It's sometimes it's the ones that I am just like over it and just like, I'm getting out. Like, I'm not going to keep being here, where they actually end up working. It wasn't too much longer before my target of 1R would have been hit. Overall in the day, because I know it's disappeared now from my, it's disappeared from my P&L. I don't remember quite what I had. I don't remember the number, but I know I lost, like, it was like 141, which to be honest, seeing how last week and even the week before that, or really just recently, for the last month, you know, I guess that's a smaller losing day. I've been losing kind of big, at least for me and how I trade. So I've been doing this thing of, I've been following these rules of like only taking 2 trades a day. If you win on the first one, don't trade at all. Or if you lose on the first one, take 1 more. And regardless of how that one comes out, you shouldn't trade anymore. Unfortunately, I think this is, and I get that rule, and I understand why it's there, but I think this is one of the things that, like, I'm going to have to learn the hard way, because I kind of don't like that rule. Like, I really don't like it, but I know it's there to help save my account, like, to not blow it. And I get that, but if I've lost the first trade and then I win small on the second one, I'm going to keep going. Like, I don't know. And I get it. Like, I'll probably end up coming to the same, or maybe not if I figure something else out, but I'm pretty sure, like, there could be, or there's a high chance that I'm going to come around and say, okay, I can't take more than X amount of trades in a day. Like, I just can't, because it makes me blow my accounts. So far, with me lifting that rule off of myself, at the very least, I've been able to lose a little smaller. Like, I've noticed, and I'm sure this was with everybody, the more candles I see, you know, the better I get at the trades, like, that I'm placing. At least right now, like this last one, I just stopped. My patience wore off. I couldn't wait anymore. I was like getting sick and tired of it. But I've noticed that, like, and maybe that could be something I noticed. Like, maybe I don't trade in the mornings at all. I just come in later in the day, and place a trade. And what I will say is what I don't like about what I'm doing, because I've lifted that rule off of myself where it's like basically only taking 2 trades a day, I have to be in front of the computer longer. And that's not really going to work either. I can kind of see it. So I don't know what I'm going to have to do. You know, I don't know. I can delete this, but I think what's interesting is this trend line at the top really held, because even at one point I said, well, if this one loses, maybe we'll finally break this trend line and I could play that, like a quick break of the trend line up, but it didn't really get up over it. And it still hasn't, actually. Well, I guess it did cross it here. Let's see. Yeah, and it crossed it. Right, but man, that took a long time. And broke out, and it retested and went back under. So that's actually pretty strong, but I'm sure it was probably just for that gap on the 24-hour chart. Look at how it came through this box and bounced perfectly off of the top of it. This is crazy. Yeah, so this Potter box strategy also, you'll probably start hearing me talk about a little bit more. I've been studying a little bit more. I've been going through the lessons and really trying to get a hold of it. I definitely see the potential and the power of it. It's just a little complex. But anyways, I'll be talking about that more soon. So anyways, yeah, I think, like, 4 trades a day might be like if I'm losing. Now, if I'm winning, I'm not going to say that if I win on my very first trade that I won't trade again, but there's a good chance that that will happen, where it depends on how big the win is. But I'm still not going to say if I win on my very first trade that I won't trade again at all for the whole day. I'm not going to put that rule on myself right now. Again, in time, maybe I'll come back around and say, that was stupid. I should have just trusted that rule fully and not questioned it. And, this is one of those things for me, like I said. They teach you as a kid, you don't play with fire, you're going to get burned. Some people have to touch it. I don't, and there's a lot of things in life for me that I don't have to touch. I can look at other people's examples and be like, I'm not going to do that, which is wisdom. It is wisdom. I do understand. But I will say this is one of those things for me. I realize I'm going to have to probably learn the hard way. And I'm just going to let that flow, because once the rule comes back, I know that I'll stick to it. I hope that makes sense. I know I've done a lot of rambling, and I'm so grateful if you've listened to this. You deserve something, a prize, a cookie. You deserve, a lot of money. That's what you need. A lot of money on your trades. So hopefully that happens. So thank you for listening. If you have, let me know what you think, and subscribe, give a comment, and I'll see you on the next one. I feel like there was something else I was trying to say about today on these trades, but I completely forgot. I'm sorry. I'll see you later.